Certainly a game of two halves. I think what was evident is that we were up against a team that's a lot of energy, very direct in the way that they play, 4-4-2, look to search behind, good runners behind, and around that, what you have to be able to do is keep the ball well enough. And in a first half period, I thought our ball retention wasn't good enough, which made it difficult for us. In the times when we could change the play, which was when you've got a team that you're playing against in 4-4-2 narrow with high energy, then the travel of the ball has got to be quicker. So I didn't think we was good enough on the ball in a first half period. Second half, of course, better, but the game opens up. The game opens up, and I think we were able to capitalise then on the spaces, and then it becomes the job then to score goals. And of course, we entered the final third a lot more in the second half than what we did in the first half. But either perhaps a lack of quality at times saw us not get opportunities. I think you have to credit them. I think they defended very well in their moments, but we had to make more of the possession that we had, and particularly the possession we had in the final third. It's a good point, and I understand. This I understand. What I have to do is I have to make decisions in the game about which changes that I want to make. Certainly as regards Richmond, we know where he plays, and I understand the question. He's in the squad for the first time. We're delighted to have him in the squad, but I have to make these decisions, the same decisions I have to make with Dede Andre coming in, or Ashamiro, the timing that he comes, and what effect that they can have on the game. And probably from a technical point of view, I think that the fact I brought Ashamiro on at the time that I brought him on, I wanted perhaps a more defensive player to stay on the pitch, just to give us that balance, because I knew I would be changing the front two, and I knew I'd be changing the two wide players. So it was for me just to have that one, what I regard as a proper defensive midfield player. But I understand the question. Yes, and I would agree with you on today's performance. Yeah, exactly. This is not something that we plan. And I know that when the score at half time is you are drawing or you are losing the game, then of course there has to be more urgency to get back into the game. But you are right, we've had a lot of performances where the change in personnel, we've benefited from that change in personnel. Sometimes it's not such a problem, providing the end result is the correct result. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to stay in games. If I'm looking at the pluses from today, still, even though we didn't score and didn't play so well in the first half period, we didn't concede. And as long as I think we always feel that if we can stay in the game, if we haven't played particularly well and we can stay in the game, we have the players that can change the game, the players that can come on and have an effect offensively in our game. It's not something that we plan. What you said is correct, that overall we have been a better team in the second half than the first half, and as it's my responsibility and the team's responsibility to enable us to change that. Yeah, I think every area that we're not getting as much success as what we would like is always something that can be a concern for us. And probably you are right. If I look at today's performance, I think although the opposition had some half chances, we were relatively solid at the back. Yes, we can only win in games by scoring goals, and I don't think at times in some games, in a first half period, the problem was that we never got into good enough positions to enable us to create opportunities. Second half we did. I think we got into enough good opportunities, particularly good crossing opportunities, that we needed to benefit from it, and we didn't. So I think it's about sometimes that little bit of composure. Sometimes it's about that little bit more aggression once we get into the box, and sometimes it's about getting that extra player in the box. But whatever it is, yes, it's something that we have to be better at if we are going to win football matches. Yeah. So on the yes, as regards to the two boxes, I mean I think when we talk about the two boxes, we always prefer to talk about the team. You know, I think if we're conceding goals, then it's not just about a back four, unless there are particular errors, unless defenders are making errors that are leading to goals. But generally, we would look at the team. If we're defending well, or if we're not defending well, it means we're not defending well as a team. If we have a particular player, a particular striker or a wide player that's missing lots of chances, then that's an individual thing. I don't think that's the case. I think we are not creating enough really good chances as a team, and so I think always the team has to take responsibility for that. I enjoyed in the second half. I enjoyed a lot of what we did offensively in that second half. What I didn't enjoy was that we didn't have a couple of goals to come away from at the end of the game. So this is about a team, not about individual.